Dear viewers, super cool that you're watching a new episode of Twins. Television, it's Friday again, so Lamborghini time. Of course, we're going to continue with the back of this Gallardo. We have a ton of work to do again in this episode. So are you curious about what we're going to do? Keep watching because we're going to get our hands really dirty again. I'm super excited and you're coming along for the ride. Let's go. As you saw in the previous episode, we've dismantled a ton of components from the back. Now we've gained more insights, or should I say peeks, into how much junk is still lying around. We're going to clean that up first before we really start dismantling components. So in this episode 2, we're going to dismantle this. We're going to try to dismantle the gearbox. As you know, we've never worked on a Lamborghini before. We learn by doing. Let's get started because there's a ton of junk in there. There's a lot of junk. There's a lot of junk there too, a lot of salt. And what we find important is that we clean up as much salt as possible because we're also breathing a lot of it in. I also noticed that my mouth tastes salty all the time. And last week we went home with just teary eyes and a bad taste in our mouths. So we actually want to clean up as much as possible now so we don't have that tonight. Let's go! Guys, we've just wet the floor and you'll see us working with face masks on. The powder from the extinguisher is very irritating and we've suffered from it for a long time. So everything is wet so the dust goes nicely to it. As you could see in the time-lapse footage, we have disassembled this brace. This brace really needs to be removed in order to eventually take out your engine block. Yes, it has a certain order and we don't quite know what the order is yet. We wanted to remove this first but couldn't because the catalytic converters need to be detached. Before the catalytic converters can be removed, the brakes must be taken off first. It's a complex challenge for us to figure out how to disassemble it. It's a very enjoyable puzzle with an exciting challenge. Naturally, we won't allow the Lamborghini to defeat us. So yes, it's going really well indeed. Let's now quickly proceed with what we think is the right order. First the oil sump, then the catalytic converters. No, the other way around. First loosen the cat, then the oil. Sump. It's in the way of lifting it out, so that's what we're doing now. Let's go.
Thank you.
Guys, so we found evidence that this is actually a Volkswagen or an Audi. Come on.
From that.
Group indeed comes from the VAG group. Well, evidence has been provided, guys. We've been hammering on that clamp for 2 hours now. From the exhaust, we finally got the catalytic converter loose. You just saw that. It was a mega struggle. Of course, also because the fire was on that side, but also because such a clamp gets mega hot every time. We still haven't finished it, but we've opened it up so far that the cat has come off, which we're mega happy about.
And right.
It's still not loose, right? Because
Those brackets.
the bolts of the nuts are loose, but it just slides.
It's actually just a...
You clamp with another clamp that slides over it, but that's not all. Everything is so tight. So we've been busy for so long. It's not normal now. We're going to loosen this oil sump that's attached to the bottom. It's still attached with a thick pipe. Like this. I think this is the return, and below is the supply. And once we have that loose, we can finally, yes, dismantle, but here you can see more dirt that's lying here. So we're going to get the vacuum cleaner out again, and then we're going to vacuum all that in a moment. So let's quickly continue with the removal of the sump, and then we've almost got the whole gearbox in sight, right, Don? Yes, it's a huge progress already. We've been busy all afternoon trying to get this all sorted. It's mega tight, and let's keep going. Enough talking, let's go. Music. Okay, we're going to document this for you and for ourselves because a plug goes to the lambda probe from here. All plugs must be returned to their original positions, correct? Difficult position. Yes, he is nice. He's in a nice spot again. It's because of that V10 engine, guys. It takes quite a bit in the stroke. He put the plug behind a coolant reservoir, so I'm removing it. Really? I think so, if I do it
correctly.
This is a bit of a tougher episode this week. Yes, this one isn't going so smoothly. Well, we are making progress. We are definitely making progress. Only you are with one thing. You are just so long busy. That is not normal. But yes, it all comes good because we are twins. Even your face is dirty. Yes, not normal. Wow, guys, we have already cleaned this up a bit with a vacuum cleaner. It already looks 100 times better. All the melted plastic that was on it is almost off. If you go underneath with your hand, to the right, along that
Pump. That
moves? Yes, that really big one. If I pull this one, you can feel it, right? You can also just see it sitting there. Guys, quiet, going strong. It's harder with the fire extinguisher powder. The viewers are right, because yes, the things that buildings rust heavily. Yes, you have him, and I heard me can also get loose for a while. It's still somewhere in the bracket. So we're going to do the whole time 2. Steps forward, 3 steps back. How does it go again? Look, you have him. Well, you get it. That cat out of there then. On. The honor is yours. What is that thing worth? Yeah, I'm quite curious about that. We're just gonna drive the cat. Yeah? We're going to empty it, right?
Yeah, we're going to empty it, because we need it for the Ministry of Transport. If I'm not mistaken.
That one is loose?
Yes, it's a little loose, so you can just...
Make sure those tubes don't bend, and then you can easily find them back. This is a copper glue.
Because according to...
They might be injecting extra fuel, like gasoline, into the catalytic converter to heat it up faster. That's a possibility. The others were a bit burnt in. But these look pretty good. These are completely new, look. Can you see it? Oh yes, that honeycomb is well in there. With the other one, you could see it was already a bit burned in.
Gone.
So this,
It's super nice.
the cats are gone, another opening. Let's remove the heat shield from the axle for a moment. And how is that box attached?
E-gear still needs to be detached. The axle still needs to be detached. The starter motor still needs to be detached.
There's still quite a bit before we can detach the box, but let's just keep going and see how far we get. Indeed.
Let's go.
Oh, so cool. Hey. Actually, a small disappointment. No, actually, everything in this episode is disappointing. Indeed, it was quite a tough episode to pull this off. Everything is super stuck. Especially now as we get to that difficult part where the powder extinguisher has especially set all bolts and screws so tightly that everything is just chipping and working with WD-40. It feels a bit like Master Milo with his tank, honestly. Can you imagine that I broke this? It's just really super strong. We've had this in our box for centuries. Unfortunately, we must now say goodbye to it as it's broken. Exerted so much force to loosen this central nut. So yes, we need to get or create something new, or create that we can loosen this central nut, but it's so tight and we're really bummed about that. But we've actually done quite a lot of work here because yes, everything was super tight here. Those catalysts, to get them loose was really a huge job. We got them loose. The oil sump has also come loose, which we are thrilled about. And the fire damage is actually not that bad, right here. Indeed, because if you would actually clean this with a cloth, it would actually just get clean. Indeed. So I'm really super happy with that you assessed that well. I'm so happy with that. And of course there is a very big prize here that held everything from left to right. So we have already made a lot of progress. We can't do more than we have done now. But I must say I am pleasantly surprised actually by the state of the cables. And the high pressure hoses of the exhaust gas recirculation, you know, where the oil goes through. It looks just good. So yeah, it's been a tough episode for all of us. And I hope I was able to capture well on camera for you what we have done here. Because it was really a super difficult episode to film. Because you are working in very small places with very dirty screws.
With bolts and bolts.
And it was just super difficult to get mobile. So I hope we have been able to show you that now. And yes, next way goes. Not deterred to continue, of course, 100%. Because in the next episode, we just had something in house where we then, that work, those stone boxes will get loose. I am just quite satisfied actually with the progress of today. Yes, that is just super heavy.
And was super
Heavy.
We had
Actually expected to get more work done, and therefore we are a bit disappointed, but I
hope
you understood that, yes?
also happens.
Exactly, and we promise to capture every minute. And sometimes you have these kinds of things where it sticks a bit more than expected. I want to end this episode on a positive note, with the thought that it actually looks better than expected. It may be more stuck than expected, but we can still reuse quite a lot. That is a huge plus and a huge advantage for our own wallet. Yes, of course we will continue in the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe. That's the best way to support us. Give a thumbs up if you think this will be a success. And of course we can use all the tips, so if you know about such a car, please let us know. You can also direct message us via Instagram, twinstv_, and you'll see us back in a new episode. We love you all, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week with a new episode. Bye.